Good morning. Hello, it's Karen. You're back in the kitchen? Yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful day outside already. And it's not, well, it's bang on 9 a.m. and we've been promised a cracking day. So I thought I'd make our tea now, then I can reheat it later because I just want to get outside as much as possible when we've got chance. It's a lockdown. We need to be in our gardens if we can. So, I know I'm quite vivid today. I went into my t-shirt drawer, just grabbed this, and A, it's got memories, B, it gave me the inspiration for what we're going to have. Right, look, I'll show you. I'm not 60 now, I'm 62. I had this t-shirt made when I was just finished with the bake-off, and there was some talk of having a mock wrestling match with Noel Fielding. So I went off and got this, and anyway, it never came about, but that's why I've got this rather neon orange. And orange is the origin of this meal. It's Bobotie, Bobotie. And that's South African. But before it became South African, I believe it was Dutch. And the Dutch obviously took it across with them to South Africa. So orange is quite suitable. So Bobotie, what is it? It's South African's version of shepherd's pie, moussaka, lasagna. It's like one of those. Every country has their own, and this is mince or meatloaf. So Bobotie, right, I'm going to do it quickly because time goes fast on these videos. So I'm putting the heat on. And this, I'm starting with 1 chopped onion, as usual in these dishes. But this time, it's not oil. The recipe calls for a little knob of butter. So that's the butter in there. And I'm just going to turn the heat up and get that sizzling a little bit. So yeah, well, it's got a shorts on. I know it's scary, but you've just got to do it when you have the chance. And today's the day. Today's the day for the sunbed. I have a sunbed in my little tiny handkerchief. Right, 1 onion chopped in there. Now, while that's softening and going translucent, remember, we don't want to catch it, we don't want to burn it, we just want to sweat it. That's what I'll be doing later in the garden. We want to sweat it down to get the natural soft, juicy sweetness, the sweetness from the onion. And I have got 450 grams or thereabouts of mincemeat. And of course, that's going to go into the onion mixture. So I shall put that in now. Shall I? No, I'll just need it to do a minute or two longer. What's going in along with the mince, first thing is I've got 3 cloves of garlic. As much or as little as you like of the garlic. So we'll put this in now. Just break that down a bit. Break it down. Interestingly, there's no stock. I'll tell you now, I've never made this before. Never. But there's no stock or liquid added to this. So it must be more like a meatloafy, solid texture when it goes in. It's finished in the oven. So I'm just turning that through. Can we see? Yeah. So just letting that do its thing. Breaking it up. See, I'd always be tempted now to go in with a tomato puree or some beef stock, but I'm going to stick fairly closely to the original sort of recipe. So I'm going to put the garlic in there. So that's mince, onion, butter, garlic in. And the interesting part about it is the seasoning. Now then, it's actually a mild curry. When I was a girl, my mother used to try to make a curry. She always put sultanas and apples in it. And actually, that makes sense really, because her dad had briefly spent some time in South Africa when he was a very young man. That's interesting. I never thought of this, because the South African stroke Dutch Bobotie has sultanas, and in some recipes, and mine included because I have an apple to use, apple. So she was right, really. Maybe he brought the idea back. Maybe he tried something when he was there. So yeah, so that's it. Oh yeah, I like that. So we've got about a tablespoon of dried fruit, sultanas, raisins, whatever, into it. And like I said, this is a dessert apple, an eating apple that was just hanging about. Now, because I've had it ready, you know apples go brown, don't they? So I've got it in lemon juice. I've squeezed lemon over. But some recipes have lemon in it, so that's fine. That's absolutely fine. So we'll pop the apple and lemon juice through there. Again, if you don't have an apple on, but lemon, you know, it's one of those, obviously. But yeah, it needs some sweetness. It also says put some mixed dried herbs, so we'll give that a teaspoon of those. And the other thing we've got, oh yeah, I'm using curry powder, regular curry powder. You could use paste if you want. And I would think, we don't want, it's not a curry, it's just going to be a sort of background. So I'm just going to put like scant tablespoon of curry powder. Just going to turn the heat up. And then the last ingredient, bar seasoning, and this, the last thing in the flavours is mango chutney. Or, you know, if I hadn't got this, I've got some Branston in the cupboard. With the chutney, it's really all about fruit and sugar, and that's adding the sweetness. So, you know, within reason, even, you know, brown sauce has got loads of fruit in it. So that's a good, it's all I have left in the jar. So that's a good tablespoon of mango chutney. And yeah, this is great. I'm going to season it now, and that is obviously entirely to taste, but I'm going to salt and pepper it. And then the final thing at this point is a slice of white bread, and it's been soaked in water. You can use milk, and then you squeeze that out. So we want to get rid, I'll put it down here. So I'm squeezing most of the water out of the bread. And I'll tell you what this does. This keeps the dish moist, and you do this sometimes with meatballs, and sometimes you put it in, same thing for beef burgers, just because they can be a bit dry, the mince. I know not everybody does, but that's what it asks you to do, and it's fine. And if you haven't got white bread, you know, if you use wholemeal bread, then a slice of that, same difference. Just going to keep that moisture in. And while that's just cooking down for a few more minutes, just mixing it right through. I'll give you a deco. Wow. While that's doing that, I've got a dish, oven-proof dish ready. It might be too small, but I've run it round with a bit of butter. And the topping, so this has a topping, just like a lasagna has a cheese sauce, and shepherd's pie has a mashed potato, and a moussaka has a cheesy bechamel thing. This is literally a custard, a savoury. And what you need for this is 300 millilitres of milk and 2 beaten eggs. And I'm putting the eggs into the milk. Give it a beat up. Put a bit of pepper in that. A bit of salt in that. And what happens with that is we pour this over the meat once it's been put in here and bake it in the oven in 160 degree fan, 180 regular for about 35-40 minutes. And the custard sets, and when it cools, you're able to slice it. So that's nice. This is really nice, and it's ready because it's going to be baked. You know, you don't need to overkill it in the pan. It's fabulous. I am honestly excited. Excited for Bobotie. Bobotie? So right, heat off. In. What? This is going to be my new favourite. I have regular favourites. Perhaps I'll just tip it in. Tipping it, yeah. Lovely. You can hear me now, it stopped sizzling. Pop that over on the regular hob. Let me see, yeah, pat that down. Squash it down. Lovely. Actually, I've judged that. I've judged that exactly right for the size of the dish that I picked. It's probably about an 8-inch square. And then the excitement. There we go. Pouring. We like a custard going through the meat as well, I think. Yeah. I'm not going to lift this up now to show you because I'm bound to spill it all over the place, so that would spoil it a bit. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to pop it in the oven, and then I'll come back and we'll have a look at the finished bobotie. So I won't be long, half an hour. Bye. So welcome back to the bobotie class. Because remember, I've never made this recipe before. I've heard of it a few times on my travels around and about. But yeah, bobotie, South African stroke Dutch, hence, like I said earlier, the orange. I was thinking in the interval, or while we've been waiting for it to cook, of course, if you're vegetarian, it could easily be made using, well, vegetables, but like corn mince would substitute really well. Because I think it's more about the addition of those fruits and the chutney, and a bit of curry going on there, and then of course the interesting custard. Because I've had a sneaky look, and yes, it has seeped through the liquid. There's left enough on the top for proper topping. It's gone through. Probably if you'd let the meat mixture cool properly, so it sort of goes a bit harder, then it might have sat on the top more. But as it is, it's seeped through. So I'm imagining the whole sort of custard thing is going to go right through the meat, and you'll be able to slice it when it's cooler, like a pie. And I also know that the traditional thing to serve with this is yellow rice. I don't know what yellow rice is, but yellow rice. But in my house, rice is a bit of a struggle, because unless it's in the form of a rice pudding, my John, no to rice. So on a nice day like this, I think a really lovely, colourful side salad would be fine. So it hasn't got any carbs in, has it? No carbs. So if you wanted to, you could make some wedges, jacket potato. Yeah. So I think it's ready. I have had a sneaky look, but I'm going to get it out now. So without further ado, here we go. Get my sauté. Do you remember sauté and sweep? Come on. I know I'm daft. Right, okay. Stand back, let the heat of the oven escape. Ooh, it's so hot. Right. Let's have an exam. You can see anyway, can't you? You can see that it's browned up, it's bubbling still. The custard is properly set. And as it cools, of course, it will firm up and become easier to slice. So it's too hot to handle really, but I want to bring it up to the camera if I can. Very quickly. There. Bobotie. I'll take my glasses off. A lot of people don't like this particular design on me, but I'm quite partial. So that's Bobotie. Please try it. It's really easy, as you've seen, obviously. In it goes, and it smells absolutely wonderful. Really it does. So, enjoy the rest of your day. Stay safe, stay home. Till next time. Bye for now. Bye.